Van der Graaf Generator, Porn Hearts. Van der Graaf Generator don't make songs, they make dark gothic epics. Each one a descent into hell, leading to some kind of tainted musical or lyrical redemption. Like Wagner meets Bauhaus, the Banshees or The Cure. In 1967, the BBC's Home Service third programme and light programme became radio's 1, 2, 3 and 4. To mark the occasion, George Martin, the Beatles producer, wrote an instrumental piece called Theme 1. Radio 1 used to close down in the evenings and become Radio 2 until 10 o'clock, when the late night serious modern music programmes would be on for 2 hours. We would wait eagerly to hear some Floyd or Soft Machine or even Ivor Cutler, and it would all kick off with an updated version of Theme 1 performed by Van der Graaf Generator. A friend of mine bought the single and was fascinated by the B-side, a song called W, which is about the state of feeling twice what you were and twice as unhappy as you have ever been, till one day you wake to realise you are dead. That was the kind of lyric you came to expect from Peter Hammill, the main songwriter with Van der Graaf. Van der Graaf Generator were contemporaries and label mates with Peter Gabriel's Genesis. But whereas Genesis were a Python-esque mix of the ecclesiastical and music hall, Van der Graaf Generator were dark and modernistic. They had a sax player who did the two at the same time thing, which has never sounded anything other than harsh and menacing. They had a wizard of a drummer who could twist time, a Hammond organ player who seemed trapped in a never-ending nightmare Bach-like fugue state, and Hammill himself pounding away at a piano and barking and shrieking dense lyrics with a sneer and aggression that would later inspire Johnny Rotten. Robust melodies snake their way out of the cacophony, like determined flowers breaking through musical concrete, to circle and entwine themselves into intense, thrilling, exciting and awful climaxes. The original album had only 3 tracks, one of which was a sidelong insane exploration of insanity. Peter Hammill does an effective "they're coming to take me away" slip into vocal madness. Generally, even his soft singing seems to be hiding an undercurrent of rage. He regularly goes from reasonable to screaming nervous breakdown like a failed negotiation with a totally unreasonable neighbour. A first listen might well convince you it is a random, unpleasant, unstructured noise, like a keyboard version of Captain Beefheart's Trout Mask replica. But if you look deeper, you will be swept away by very structured pieces that kick your emotions around from mud-splattered touchdown to glorious conversion. The CD version also includes Theme 1 and W, and some other inconsequential bonus tracks. All Van der Graaf Generator's previous albums are worth hearing, but they split after this album. But then they reformed to make a further series of excellent albums. They then split again, only to reform in this century. They continue without the sax player, but still with the other 3 original members, playing live and still making new music. Porn Hearts, Van der Graaf Generator.